Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Hey everybody, it's Cutler here in the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast. It's another Thursday and it is the 30th of the month. It is the end of March and the month has marched right along and so are we. I'm thankful for these 1800 seconds that we're about to spend together. And just in case somebody stops by for the first time or they just pulls in and they eavesdrop and they listen and they're wondering, what is this guy up here, what he's talking about? Let me just say it so that we are all very clear that this channel is about inspiration, it's about motivation, it's about challenging ourselves to show up more. It's about challenging ourselves to show up better today than we did yesterday, challenging ourselves to show up better tomorrow than we did today, and making sure that we are intentional, making sure that we are deliberate about being and showing up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. That's what this channel is all about. So we spend these 1800 seconds together from time to time on these Tuesdays and Thursdays, trying to just glean from the conversation, seeing if we can just grab a nugget here, a nugget there, and if we could just get a little piece to hold on to, a little piece to take with us into the next day. That's what we're doing here. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And do me a favor, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because it lets you know whenever I've uploaded new content and whenever I've gone live. I want you to be aware of what I'm doing and what I'm saying and how I'm trying to navigate my life and how I'm trying to share this space with you all. So thank you for whatever space you've allowed me to come into this evening. I'm so thankful, whether it's your front porch, your family room, your bedroom, your kitchen, or wherever it is, if you're out walking. Thank you for taking me along on this journey with you. I appreciate that. And hey, let me do a shout out to the LTTC VIPs in just a moment. Those are the people who kind of jump over into the chat room before I get started and before I jump into the chat room. So I'll shout them out in just a moment. But again, I'm so thankful. I don't know about you all, but I'm thankful for another day. I'm thankful for an opportunity. And I want to talk about how to celebrate yourselves. Here we are. You know, the last time we talked about we've gotten to the end of the first quarter of the year. Some of us had goals that we may have met. Some of us had goals that we may not have met at all. Some of us may not have had goals. And we're thinking, okay, is it too late for me to cast my goals? Absolutely not. Is it too late for me to set some aspirations? Absolutely not. If you have goals, go ahead and set them. If you have aspirations, go ahead and place them. It means that I have a place, a destination that I want to go. And one of the places where we're going to, where we always strive to get to, is this place is called better. This place is called better, you all, because what I've realized is that life is dynamic and life is about growing. It's about changing. It's about expanding. It's about expanding your horizons. It's about doing new things. It's about thinking outside of the box. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone. And one of the ways that we do that is by challenging ourselves. And sometimes our best challenges come about through dialogue with each other, comes about through conversation. I want us all to be our best selves, again, even in the worst of situations. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this time because you all challenged me, whether you know it or not. You all challenged me to try to show up better. Sometimes when I leave this platform and I leave the conversation thinking, there was a nugget in that conversation that I want to take with me, and I want to see how I can apply it to my life. If you all are coming, I see some of y'all coming on, come on into the chat room so I can see you and then say hi, so at least I'll know you're here. But my goal, you all, honestly, is to always try to become better. I like that, Linda. Well, good evening on this Better Thursday. We ought to always want better for our lives and better for the people who are connected to us. And so we're going to talk about celebrating ourselves in just a moment. But again, I want you to think, I've made it to the end of the first quarter of the month. And whether or not I've realized all of my goals, whether or not I've met every milestone, at this point It's inconsequential because guess what? We are here. So, what we're going to do this evening is to talk about how do we celebrate ourselves. Tell me this, you all. Think about this and let me know. When was the last time you celebrated yourself? Think about that. And whatever that means, however that plays out, however it looks, think about that question. When was the last time you celebrated yourself? And if you have to think and reason that it's been quite some time ago, the question is, why haven't you celebrated yourself more recently than that? And this is not a critique or criticism. This is just opening up ourselves to look at how we think about ourselves. Because sometimes we would say, I'm just busy. I'm busy doing what I do. And I did not think about stopping to celebrate me because I am so busy taking care of other people. I'm busy helping other people. I'm busy. I'm just so busy doing life. I'm engaged with the things that make up my life, Cutler. So I don't necessarily take the time to celebrate myself. But I want you to pause. I offer all of us tonight. Here's my offering. I offer us the opportunity to pause, no matter how long or how short, how brief or how extended it may be. I offer all of us the opportunity to stop for just a moment and celebrate yourself. Here we are. We've come through the first quarter of the month, first quarter of the year. And I want us to think about that thing really seriously. Have I stopped to celebrate myself? Have I overlooked all of the wonderful things that I've done? Have I overlooked all of the humane things that I've done? Have I overlooked all of the civil things that I've done? Have I looked over all of the kind gestures that I have made in terms of helping somebody else, helping somebody's life to be better? Have I overlooked all of those things? I want you to stop for a moment and celebrate yourself, because the question is, when was the last time you celebrated yourself? And if it has been a long time, why has it been so long? Stop for just a moment. Self-love. Love on yourself for just a moment. I was having a conversation earlier today, and in a part of that conversation, my sister-in-law was telling me that there was this one young lady who seems to uh, dance to her own song. I think that was the way she characterized it. She said that this one young lady seems to dance to her own song. And my response, you ready for my response? My response was, if she knows that she's singing a wonderful tune or playing a wonderful tune, why not dance to it? Why not dance to your song? If you're singing a wonderful song or playing a great tune, there's absolutely nothing wrong with dancing to the tune that you're singing. What am I saying? Learn to celebrate yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Life is moving. We're involved, and sometimes we get caught up in the throes of life and the throes of other people's lives. Take a moment to celebrate yourself. Here we are again at the first quarter. Celebrate. Cutler, what does it look like? How do I celebrate? Do you have any ideas? Do you have any tips or helpful hints for how we celebrate ourselves? Yeah, that's why we're here tonight. But you all talk to me. I really want to know, when was the last time you celebrated yourself? When was the last time you said, okay, self, that's good right there. That's something good that you've done. That's something noteworthy. That's something applaudable. That's something commendable that you've done. It has nothing to do with conceit. It has nothing to do with arrogance. It has nothing to do with being self-aggrandizing, but it has everything to do with pausing, celebrating yourself, and offering yourself some self-love. You're doing for yourself and to yourself the same thing that you would do to somebody else if they did what you're doing. Think about that. Some of the very things that you all are doing, if anybody else was doing it, you would celebrate them. You would encourage them. You would give them a smile or an applause or some nice word. to say, keep doing the good job, keep doing what you're doing. You're making a difference in somebody's life. If you can say that to somebody else for doing what you are doing, stop and say it to yourself. Self, you're doing something nice. Self, you're doing something wonderful. Self, you're doing something good. Self, you're doing a great job. Self, you should be proud of yourself. Learn to stop and say that. And celebrate yourself. There's absolutely nothing wrong. And if you say, Cutler, I don't quite know how to do that, here's one of the things that you can do in terms of getting the momentum going for celebrating yourself. Reflect and just write down some of your accomplishments. Just learn to write down. Oh, you all, can I say this? Don't worry about what people say. When you know that you're doing a good thing, when you know that you're doing a good deed, when you know that you're up on the wall and you're building the wall and you're doing a good thing, and you say to yourself, nothing or nobody is going to pull me down off this wall. I'm on this wall and I'm doing a good work. Learn how to write those things down. It doesn't take any more than 10 minutes each day. Or 10, not even each day, but when you stop and you decide that you're going to celebrate yourself, it doesn't take any more than 10 minutes to get a piece of paper and just make a list of things that you've accomplished. It doesn't have to be daunting. It doesn't have to cause you anxiety. Because as soon as some people get ready to do something like this, they go, whew. And the first thing your mind tells you that it is too demanding for you to get a pen, too demanding for you to get a piece of paper and just stop and write down. But, I got to think about all this stuff. I got to think. And so now the fact that I've got to think, it causes me anxiety. No. Don't let that be your first response. You're getting ready to celebrate yourself. If you were getting ready to celebrate everybody else or somebody else, you would say, okay, so all right, I got to get a pen, I got to get a paper, I got to think, I got to stop. What you would do for somebody else is that you would get a pen or a piece of paper and immediately start writing down the wonderful things that they've done. Do yourself the same way, you all. Stop stressing when it comes to celebrating yourself. Go get a piece of, not now, but go get a piece of paper, get a pen, and write down some of your accomplishments. Just whatever jumps out at you. Include whether it's the big things, whether it's the small things, whatever things you remember, just write them down. Whatever you remember about yourself. I used to win the science projects, write it down. I used to win the spelling bees, write it down. I was the, prom king, write it down. I was the prom queen, write it down. I was, this is really older. I was, I'm thinking about some of the people in different generations. I was Mayday Queen. Write it down. Whatever you were, celebrate yourself. And then, so that means you've gone back and now come up to the present. I helped somebody out the other day. Write it down. I'm serving as a caregiver. Write it down. You're writing your big wins. You're writing your little wins. You're writing the big things. You're writing the small things. Just write them down. It's a way to celebrate yourself every day. It's a way to build up your confidence. I said it before. One of the things that we always want to build up is self-confidence as we tear down self-doubt. This is learning how to celebrate yourself. And again, I'm here on the self-celebration, self-love, because we've reached the first quarter of the year and we need to stop and exhale and say, let me take a look at what I've done. We're doing an assessment. We're doing an evaluation. We're doing inventory. We're doing an analysis of where we are. That's what we're doing. So the good that you've done for humanity, the good that you've done for other people, celebrate it. Celebrate it. Absolutely. Queen Nita, celebrating myself and self-care go hand in hand for me and is a must, especially in my profession as domestic violence advocate. Absolutely. The fact that you're helping make a difference in somebody else's life, and you have to stop and celebrate yourself and say, you know what? Let me just celebrate the fact that I'm making a difference in somebody else's life. Be thankful. So you all learn to write these things down. Just take a moment and celebrate yourself. For goodness sakes, Cutler, why are you beating a dead horse? Because it is important. Self-love is so important. Learn to do for yourself what you would do for other people. You'd esteem them highly. You'd applaud them. You commend them. You'd pat them on the back. Learn to do the same thing for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Let me just keep moving on because I don't want y'all to get bored with me and then tune out. What else would you suggest, Cutler? I've read this somewhere. If you were going to a party, if you were having a celebration, you would ask the DJ, or you would somehow create a playlist, right? All of your favorite songs, you would just put them together. It's called for some of you who are thinking, what is he talking about? Creating a playlist. Think about if you were having a party and you would just list all of your favorite songs. That's a playlist. Learn to think of music that makes you happy, music that makes you want to dance, music that reminds you of happier days, music that reminds you of times when you were just so carefree and you just celebrated. Learn to create a playlist filled with the songs that reminds you of times of celebration, different milestones, or maybe you remember. I understood what you meant, my friend. Go hand in hand. I knew exactly what you meant. Maybe whenever you went on a trip, you heard a certain song, or maybe you remember when you were at a family reunion or family reunion or a party, and you heard a certain song. Think of music that makes you happy, music that reminds you of times when you celebrated, either celebrated yourself or celebrated somebody else, and you can make a list of those songs. Maybe you can think of songs from milestone events in your life, weddings, parties, family gatherings, retirements, all of those sorts of things. And if you remember music, or if you have songs that remind you of that, make a playlist, and then just one day just play them and just go to dancing like nobody's looking. It's almost as if you would push play, you would start dancing, and you would instantly feel like celebrating. What songs are on your playlist? What songs remind you to celebrate? What songs make you want to dance? What songs make you want to celebrate? Create a playlist, and don't forget to play it. That's how one way that you celebrate yourself. So you don't just not just writing things down. These are two ways. Just write things down, just create a playlist. And then can I tell you, think about seeing yourself in the future. Think about how you want to be, how you want to show up, how you want to present yourself, how you want the world to see you in the future, and then invest in that person. Invest in your future. That's one way that you can celebrate. Invest in the future you. This is what I want to look like 10 years from now, 5 years from now. Invest in the future you. And by investing in your future, you're giving your future self a gift. Can I say that again? Be good to your future self. So that means you invest in yourself now so that you will give your future self a gift. Whether it's the gift of financial security, whether it is the gift of peace and happiness and joy and comfort, whatever it may be, learn now to invest in yourself so that you would give your future self a gift. I'm talking about just different ways. You can take one or all of these and say, thank you, Cutler. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to celebrate me. Another way of celebrating you is to learn how to give yourself a break. Can I say this, you all? Give yourself a break. Don't wait for a big occasion to celebrate yourself. Don't wait for a small occasion to celebrate yourself, but learn to give yourself a break. In fact, maybe one day you should just take a personal day off from everything that you can, because I understand that some of us are so involved in life until we can't necessarily take a day off, but take some time off and spend some moments by yourself. And I'm not just talking about a mental health day, but take a day of celebration of actually doing something. Whether you're going to go shopping, whether you're going to go shopping for a number of things, whether it's clothes, perfume, shoes, ice cream, a day at the movies, whatever it is, just take a day off, you all. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a day off. In fact, so many of us, sometimes we are so on Every time from the moment we wake up until the moment we close our eyes, sometimes we're just on and we're doing things. And we're doing things not only for ourselves, but for other people. And you say, Cutler, that's just because my life demands it. Every now and then, at least learn to take some kind of break. And not just a mental break where you step away and exhale, but a time when you take a break, step away, and you go and do something nice for you. A bottle of cologne, a bottle of perfume. Go do something. Manicure, pedicure. Go do something. Take a moment and step away and do something nice for yourself. Cut yourself some slack. Give yourself a break. That's all I'm saying. Because that way you're celebrating yourself and you say, you know what? I'm going to get this ice cream. And then sometimes before you can go get the ice cream, you ask yourself, all right, do I really deserve this? Have I done anything? Go get it. Go get it. I'm going to go buy this. And then do I need this? Go get it. Just go and get it. Because you're giving yourself a break. And as you're giving yourself a break, sometimes we overanalyze things and we overthink things and we start beating ourselves up and we start second guessing ourselves and we start questioning ourselves. And to that, may I say this, give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack, for goodness sakes. Because a lot of times when we start doing things for ourselves, we say to ourselves, do I deserve that? Do I deserve that? Am I worthy of whatever good little thing or treat I'm getting ready to do for myself? Do I deserve that? Yes, you do. Stop evaluating, stop overanalyzing, stop overthinking, stop overcritiquing, and say to yourself, yes, I do. Give yourself some slack. Because a lot of times, life and situations and sometimes people can try to make you feel less than. And you have to remind yourself that you are enough. And you have to remind yourself that not only am I enough, but I am doing enough. I'm good enough. And just fill in the blank with all of those things. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. I'm wise enough. I am enough. And then go on and treat your enough self to something and celebrate yourself. Every time I get a text on my phone, my notification says, hello, beautiful. You have a text message, another one. Look, I love that. I love that, my friend. She says every time she gets a text on her phone, she has a notification that says, hello, beautiful. You have a text message. I love that. Remind yourself that you're beautiful, that you're bold, that you're wise, that you're smart, that you're handsome, that you're gifted, that you're talented. Remind yourself of all those things. Remind yourself that you're caring, that you're loving, that you're compassionate. Remind yourself of all of those things. Learn how to, when you are able to remind yourself of all of those things and you write down the accomplishments that you make, when you write those things down, learn how to share your successes and accept compliments. When people say, oh, that's a good job, learn how to accept the compliments. So share, let me sit up, you all, share your successes. And if there are people who don't know how to accept, here I go. If there are people who don't know how to accept you sharing your successes, you might want to rethink the people who are in your circle. If there are people who don't know how to accept you sharing your successes, you might need to rethink the people who are in your circle. Because people who are in your circle, people who are in your corner, they want to see you do well. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you victorious. They want to see you above and not beneath. They want to see you as a fully actualized and embraced person that you are destined to be. They want to see you in that space. And so learn to share your success with the people in your circles. And then when they compliment you, learn how to accept the compliments. Can I tell you all, I think I've said this so many times, I still struggle with learning how to accept compliments. It's just a part of the scarring that sometimes takes place when you're a youngster. Because sometimes people they will try to tear at your soul and they will try to tear at your spirit. And sometimes you carry those scars. And even at a certain age, you are still carrying the scars. And so you sometimes find it difficult to accept the emotions, the compliments rather, because you're still hearing and remembering and dealing with the scars. That's why I say, let's be careful how we handle children. I say it all the time. Let's be careful how we handle young people, because we want to make an imprint on their lives and not leave scars. I want to leave imprints and not scars. So for you, for us this evening, let's remember, let's learn how to share your successes with your friends, with your family members, with your colleagues, the people in your space, the people in your circle, the people who are part of your community, the people who are part of your village. Learn how to share your successes. And then accept the compliments. I know I'm not the only one. Some people are just so uncomfortable with receiving compliments. But can I tell you this? It's really nothing to be shy about. And if you're not used to it, you might have to practice. What do I say when they compliment me? What do I do? But it's definitely something worth learning to do. Sometimes celebrating yourself means sharing that celebration, that celebration with other people. And you must learn how to accept the compliments. Let me just keep on going. Just learn how. And make sure. Sometimes when you want to celebrate yourself, just save up. Save up and celebrate yourself in a big way. Just save so you can just splurge on yourself for just a moment. Splurge on yourself. Splurge on yourself for just a moment. Save some money, save your resources, and learn to splurge on yourself. We do it for others. Do it for yourself. Even if you decide that you want to host a dinner and toast your own accomplishments, do it. No better way to celebrate yourself than throwing a party. Invite your family over, invite your friends over. It either could be you're celebrating yourself or just for no specific reason at all, but you just want to celebrate yourself. It may not necessarily be a big accomplishment. It may be, this is my moment to celebrate myself, and that's just what I want to do. I'm going to toast myself. Just do that. And if you find it difficult to make it all about you, I'm going to help you all out for just a moment. If you find it difficult, excuse me, to make it all about you, then invite a group of friends over to celebrate themselves and say, hey, you all, this is a celebration dinner. For whom? For all of us. Do that. This is a celebration dinner for all of us. What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating? The fact that we're still here. What are we celebrating? The fact that we make a significant difference in the lives of other people. What are we celebrating? The fact that we are good people. What are we celebrating? The fact that we are enough. What are we celebrating? The fact that the Creator took the time to bring us here. What are we celebrating? The fact that we are still here. I'm going to close by sharing this poem, you all. You got to learn how to love on yourself. You got to learn how to celebrate yourself. I didn't realize the power of this poem that I'm about to read, that I'm about to share. But I want to share this, and then we're going to get out of here. Thank you to those of you who are still around, and to those VIPs, the LTTC VIPs for the evening who showed up, Annie Cutler, Linda Martin, and Paula D. Thank you all. It's good to see all of you, Queen Nita, Wendy T. Cutler. It's good to see every single one of you, Hattie. It's good to see all of you all. Thank you for still sticking around. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for still chatting. All right. Thank you all. So let me see. Let's see. I'm trying to find this. I'm going to find this poem. Yes. Let me just find this poem here. Did I show y'all the LTTC VIPs. Here they go. Annie Cutler, Linda Martin, Paula D. All right. All right. They all said hi to everybody that said hi and happy Better Thursday. I'm going to end this evening's conversation by reminding us to celebrate ourselves. Just one little poem that says, I like me. This is it. I like Kimberly, good to see you. Catch the replay because I'm talking about how to celebrate yourselves. And I remember I wrote this poem. Why did I write this poem? I wrote this poem because I was in a space where I had not learned how to celebrate me. I had not learned how to appreciate all the gifts that the Creator had poured in me. I had not learned to celebrate the fact that I was making a difference in somebody else's life the same way somebody had made a difference in my life. I forgot the fact and did not necessarily think about the value that I stood in, that I walked in. And it was not about conceit. It was not about arrogance. I keep saying that over and over and over. It was not about ego. It wasn't about any of that. But it was about, if I can celebrate other people, why can't I take the time to celebrate myself? There's nothing wrong with celebrating you. That's what I'm trying to say, you all. Nothing wrong with celebrating you. So I wrote this poem that said, I like me. I like me. I'm uniquely me and distinctly me. I find nothing wrong with me usually. I can laugh at me and cry for me. I can chuckle with me and giggle in spite of me. I even dance with me and sing for me. I would offer you me, but today I'll give me to me. Because right now I'm the only me that I have, and I really want to keep me. That's found in Who We Once Were, you all. Learn to like yourselves and learn to celebrate yourself. That's all I'm saying. Listen, we're at the first quarter of the year and we have 3 quarters left to go. So at this stage, at this juncture, at this point, let's learn to celebrate ourselves, and we'll just move on throughout the rest of the year, celebrating the big wins and the small wins as well. And if you find it difficult to celebrate yourself, shoot me an email at talk2cutler@gmail.com, and I'll celebrate you with you. And maybe I'll come back on one day and we'll just all have a We're Celebrating Ourselves party. What y'all think about that? Maybe that's what I do in April. At some point, we'll just have a We're Celebrating Us party. You all do me a favor. Keep doing what we're doing. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Keep your hopes up. Keep your heads up. Stay safe. Stay sane. And know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Thank you all for spending these 1,800 seconds with me. I'll see you all the next time. And until then, tell somebody else. Come on and let's talk the color. Good night, everybody.